La Villa ISD, Cardinal Pride.
We're the Ray Texans, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
Welcome back here. Another broadcast here on Real Sports Live after a test run there on the pregame show. Kevin Naro to my right-hand side. I'm Joe Bowling. Rudy Zamripa Jr. is on the main camera tonight. And we are set for a little softball action here from San Juan, Texas.
Okay. As long as you like it. Why?
Dialing in the last couple of things here on getting things set up for our broadcast.
Hi, my name is Katia Reyes.
We have one of the coaches mic'd up, which we'll take that mic down and we'll go to her just in a little bit. We'll talk about that on the fly.
Okay, guys, let's do this. Here we go. Yes. Let's work on D, okay? Here we go. B-side, whatever you want to say. Ready? 3, 1.
Take the coach's mic off. We turn it up. Let's take it down all the way to nothing.
Give me more balls.
We'll be back after this commercial break. We'll be right back.
We envision that San Perlita ISD will help our students acquire the necessary knowledge, communication, and problem-solving skills through a variety of educational and social experiences to become productive citizens in our global society. Be a part of the change to help create a community where we guide each other to our unlimited potential.
Back here on Real Sports Live, we're in San Juan, Texas, and it is once again the 16th annual East versus West softball all-star game featuring a ton of seniors out here. Thanks again for tuning in. This game brought to you in part by the assistance of Esparza Enterprises. Want to give a shout out in that direction. They were there on the ceremonial first pitch. Synonymous with the RGV and the family business, Esparza Pest Control. Sponsored some of this and assisted the Coaches Association in putting this on. These events, my friends, just aren't free. I can tell you firsthand, as we put together our showcase, there are hidden costs in every corner and every shadow that you can think of in trying to put something together. So again, Esparza Pest Control assisting in the production of this. We want to give a shout out there to Mr. Adrian Esparza, second generation applicator, have been a leader in the pest control industry, been training his children to take over his third generation of applicators, and he assisted this in bringing this together. All right, here we go with the West All-Stars. They will be the visitors. And as the East All-Star team is finally taking the field, Kevin, let's run down who's out there, starting with pitching to start it off. And we'll get to the hitters as they come up.
Yeah, Katia Reyes is going to be the starting pitcher for the East side. The Westlaco senior, future McLennan product. Like we had mentioned earlier, her senior year and everything she did in the circle for Westlaco this year was just amazing, and one of the better all-around performances. 20-6 was her record, 281 strikeouts. How about that? And 167 innings pitched.
We are set here for the first pitch of the ball game, and right now we already see that we're going to be adjusting just a little bit. Leading off, Elena Garza stands in from the left-hand side. First pitch is in there for a strike called. No scoreboard, so we're going to have our work cut out for us here,
Just
keeping things in play.
Yeah, I just realized that there's no scoreboard out here. So it's Elena Garza in the leadoff spot, Kaylee O'Brien batting second, Madison Lopez in the 3 spot, Adi Sainz batting in the 4 spot, batting fifth, Jenna Guajardo in the 6 spot, Azanet Flores, Celia Reyes batting 7th, Leslie Tamez in the 8 spot, Clarissa Garcia in the 9 hole, and Harley Serna in the 10 spot.
See there where we have the Batter in focus. We'll get that center field camera moved over just a little bit. A center fielder right in our way. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout to get it started.
Yeah, and Katia Reyes, that's her best pitch. That rise ball, the drop curve. It's a deadly rise ball, and no surprise there to see Katia Reyes started off with a strikeout, getting Alina Garza.
One down, and it brings up Kaylee O'Brien. First pitch to O'Brien. In there for a strike.
This is a really good matchup and just one of many that we're going to see here tonight with Kaylee O'Brien, a future University of Texas at Dallas. She'll be a Comet next year.
Standing in from the right-hand side. Next pitch coming to her. Swing and a miss.
Kaylee O'Brien, like I'd mentioned in the pregame, was a shortstop for Coach Tressler in Edinburgh North, and just really was the staple for Coach Tressler and the Lady Cougars over the last 4 years.
Next pitch coming in is a little bit low for a ball. If you're just joining us, we're in the first inning of scheduled 8 here. We're in the top of the first, and we're in San Juan, Texas on a Tuesday night. One down here in the first. O'Brien stands in, swings and misses at that one, and there's another strikeout.
Katia Reyes again with another strikeout.
And that brings in Madison Lopez. One thing about it, Kevin, these managers have the ability. First pitch comes there. That's a ball that gets back to the screen. They literally have the depth in pitching to put pitchers in the circle that can get strikeouts to anyone they face for an inning or two and just keep replacing them with more firepower.
Right. And what a better way to just start it off with Katia. And, you know, there's a lot of arms. On the east side, Mia Wettergrove being another arm from Lyford. Ileana Salcedo can also step in the circle, and Janisa Ramos, the lefty, also from Harlingen South. And looking on that, you know, we hadn't talked about the defense, but defensively, there's a lot of girls on the infield that have had really good careers. You know, Crystal Perez at third from Los Fresnos, Danae Hernandez from Raymondville at short, Jules Garcia at second from San Benito, Chloe Gracida from Harlingen at first. And then you have Jules Garcia calling the balls and strikes behind the plate.
Another swing and a miss. 2 down in the inning.
You have Amelia Salinas out in right, Ileana Salcedo in center, and then Victoria Altamirano in left.
Next pitch coming. High for a ball.
She went back to the rise, so she's been using that rise ball, and then that drop curve that Katia has, it's dangerous.
Count even to 2-2 on Madison Lopez. Anybody gets on, already signs on deck. Lopez takes the strike, and that ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down, all via the strikeout.
There it is, that backdoor curve, and Katia Reyes picking up right where she left off. She strikes out the side.
In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, no walks, nobody left. We've played a half an inning. The East All-Stars will bat for a first time from San Juan when we return on Rio Sports Live.
The most important moments in a child's life happen in their earliest years. Having a strong early childhood education enhances their future and success. That's why we are opening the Harlingen CISD Early Childhood Academy for pre-K students. At HCISD, we provide these opportunities for our youngest learners to foster their imagination and let their curiosity run while they develop their love for learning. These are the early steps to success, and Harlingen CISD is with them every step of the way.
We are Edinburgh Bella, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Maria, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Uniforms, etc., you're going to find the opportunity to purchase the best high-quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
Come visit our new store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles, and more. All funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
We are back here in San Juan, Texas on a Tuesday here on Rio Sports. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be. Joe Bowling, Kevin Naro to my right-hand side, and well, Kevin, 3 up, 3 down, strikeout victims all across the board when the West was hitting. And now the East All-Stars will get a hit, and they'll be facing
Adi Sainz, future Islander, and we talked about Katia Reyes and the year she had for the Lady Panthers and that rise ball. It's the opposite in mine, and it's a popular opinion that Adi Sainz has the best changeup in the RGV, so she steps into the circle.
First pitch here is out of the strike zone for ball 1.
Jules Garcia in the leadoff spot, middle infielder for the Lady Greyhounds.
Next pitch coming in, swinging a ground ball to second, over to first, and the out is recorded.
Andrea Guevara bats second, Eliana Salcedo in the 3 spot, Victoria Altamirano bats 4th, Jules Garcia bats 5th, Crystal Perez in the 6 spot, Katia Reyes batting 7th, Jamie Gonzalez in the 8 hole, Alyssa Garcia in the 9 hole, and batting 10th is Chloe Gracira. So Guevara, Salcedo, Altamirano, Garcia, Perez, Reyes, Gonzalez, Garcia, and Gracira.
Standing in is Guevara, 1 down in the inning. First pitch to her. Showed a bunt, it bounces back for ball 1.
Alina Garza is in right field. Jenna Guajardo is in center. Clarissa Garcia is out in left. That is the outfield for newly retired skipper Paul Cruz.
Next pitch coming in, swinging a foul ball out of play.
Harley Serna is the battery mate for Adi Sainz. Serna was the shortstop for La Jolla this year and the lone senior for the Lady Coyotes. So she's representing La Jolla here. And when I ran into her at practice last week, I said, I didn't know you could catch. And she said, well, I started catching when I was 4 years old. And then I moved into the infield, middle infield. And then when I got to high school, when I got a little bit older, my coaches needed a shortstop, and I said, okay, I'll move to shortstop. So for a majority of her high school career, she played the shortstop position.
Swing and a miss here. Foul tip, actually.
She's also a Chaos product during her travel ball years.
Let's talk about that here as we go along. Next pitch coming to Andrea Guevara with 1 out in the bottom of the first in a scoreless game. Swinging a little pop-up into short center field. That's going to drop for a hit. And it's a base hit to start it off with 1 down here in the first.
Yeah, Andrea Guevara, you know, she's a very good contact hitter, and it kind of just, you know, falls in between the cracks, especially in a lineup with girls like Crystal and Kate Perez and Victoria Altamirano and Dakota Martinez. But Guevara, you know, she's got some pop in that bat.
So a runner at first base. And that brings up Ileana Saucedo. First pitch away, ball 1. Catcher throws to first, no play there. As Guevara got the attention down there. Okay, Kevin, we're playing in a baseball field. Let's get that started first without a mound. There is a center circle drawn out there. And there's a makeshift fence. And we were talking to Andrew, who's out taking photos here tonight at this facility. And he was like, this fence is short.
I'm taller than it.
Well, short as in distance from home plate to the fence is also short.
Oh.
So hitters like Ileana Saucedo is going to reach this fence and some more.
Yeah, and then with the wind blowing out the way it is, we're facing south.
Swings and misses there.
Saucedo batted .423 this year for the Lady Hawks. She had 12 home runs. She's the younger Bash sister, as we would say, these last couple of years. And there's definitely a lot of power between Signs and Saucedo.
2 strikes, take strike 3 called, and a strikeout victim for out number 2.
Adi Signs went to that drop. And the interesting thing is that Adi Signs also plays for Mercado, who's a travel team that's out of San Antonio. Ileana also plays on that travel team there, so there's some familiarity with those two right there.
Runner down there at first base is Andrea Guevara. Standing in is Victoria Altamirano. Altamirano stands in and is ready. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Throw down to first again and back in time.
Yeah, Victoria right there, she was swinging out of her cleats. And just like Saucedo, I mean, you want to talk power, Victoria Altamirano can definitely get it. One of the bigger bats in 32 6A. She had 10 home runs this year.
Altamirano waits, and here comes the next one. Strike call.
So, who was it? Ted Williams was the only guy to bat, what was it, 400 in a season?
The last guy to bat 400 in a season, yes.
Okay,
There's been plenty, but he was the last.
744 was Victoria's average.
Oh, my goodness. Here's a ground ball to second. Over to first. Out recorded, inning over. Couple of ground balls, a strikeout, and a single in the inning. No runs, a hit, no walks, no errors, no hit batsman. 1 left on the base pass. Through 1, we've had 1 base runner. We head to the second. The West All-Stars will hit. This is the 16th annual Coaches All-Star game from San Juan on Rio Sports Live.
I love children.
One of the most important things to do is to love your students.
Imagine teachers like these helping your child prepare to change the world. Take a closer look at Mission CISD.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Rio Sports Live is the Concession Stand. Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Back here in San Juan. And Kevin, we've got microphones in a couple of places here, including on one of the coaches. Talk to me about what's going on there.
Yeah, I've always wanted to kind of emulate what they do with the Women's College World Series, which was amazing, by the way, to mic up these coaches. And I said, it's an all-star game. Let's have some fun. Let's mic up a coach and let's kind of see what's going on inside the dugouts.
Good job.
So there's your mic'd up coach right now. First he was like, what? You're going to mic me up? Like, yeah, it'll be fine. You can handle this, coach. Here's the next pitch coming. Ground
Easy
ball.
one, easy one.
And a
Good
throw
job,
to
baby
first.
girl.
Out there. I should let coach just
Go,
take
Cat.
over play-by-play. Three unassisted on the ground ball out. And that'll bring up Jenna Guajardo.
Yeah, the younger sister of Trey Guajardo. Former PSJ great quarterback, shortstop, track star.
Atta babe.
First pitch, and she swings through that for a strike. And Coach, one of the many coaches that helped us throughout the year, Kevin, and helped us immensely with our showcase, which we'll talk about that here in the next few innings. There's a pitch that just misses for a ball. Again, her travels have taken her, into some neat places to coach, to say the least.
Yeah, she's a Westlaco.
Job.
Ground ball out there.
She's a Westlaco product. She played for Mario Rodriguez, played some college ball, and started her career over at Donna.
We'll tune her back down. We'll bring her back in here in a little bit.
And then, the big deal with her was, when Elias Martinez first left San Benito, they needed a coach. And she spent 2 years there in San Benito, and then she's, after the 2017 season, she went to Mercedes, and she's been there ever since. And like I said, she's a Westlaco product. She played in this All-Star game. Her and I are right around the same age, to where when Paul was coaching in the All-Star game, she played in the All-Star game against Paul. So there's a lot of familiarity, and I know that this game means a lot to her and to Paul, because bear in mind, Paul is retired. He did not have to coach this All-Star game, but this is a thing that a guy like Paul lives for. And you talk about, we talk about the godfathers and godmothers of this sport. Paul Cruz is right up there with him, starting that Sherryland program back in the mid-'90s. And one thing that a lot of coaches and I talked about was that softball this year was its 30th birthday when it was sanctioned as a sport in the state of Texas. So it was a big year for the sport, not only in the Coastal Bend, but here in the Valley, to have a team make the region final. And, Westlaco was the 5th team to do it in our history.
And there's a swing and a miss and a strikeout to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down in the inning once again here in the second for the West All-Stars. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We head to the bottom of the second from San Juan. The 16th annual Coaches All-Star Game between the East and West and the RGV continues after this on Rio Sports Live.
Whether you're visiting or vacationing at South Padre Island, be sure to book your place to stay with Island Services. Locally owned for over 40 years. Trusted, reliable for condo and beach house rentals. Call and visit the website today. Island Services.
We are the Harlingen Cardinals, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Hi, I'm Rod Rodriguez, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation for building some of the finest agents in the industry. I help to manage that process from day one. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business, then I would like to show you how I can help.
Back here on Rio Sports Live as the West All-Stars back out on the field in the blue uniforms with the white trim, taking on the East All-Stars. And well, right now it's pretty easy to go down the lineup card that we've got scribbled out, but it's going to get messy later on because there's a lot of substitutions that are going to happen. Right now we got Jules Garcia, Crystal Perez, and Amy Gonzalez is due to hit for the East. And no change as far as we know defensively on the West All-Stars. Same battery, and I think that'll stay for an inning or two, but it's going to change, Kevin.
Yeah, eventually it will, and so just bear with us. Old Paul Cruz has it all designed by 2 innings, so there's no way possible we can do a whole other lineup card. But so we were talking about Westlaco. They're coming up to the plate, and that's Jules Garcia. And then the year she had for the Lady Panthers, batted .446, 7 home runs, 10 doubles. And she hit a couple of big home runs in the postseason for Mario Rodriguez and his Lady Panthers.
She stands in here in the second inning, leading things off for the East All-Stars. First pitch coming, low for ball 1.
And the crazy thing about Westlaco was that, me and a couple coaches man, well, last year they had an early exit, and when by their standards we mean 3rd, 4th round. That's an early exit for Westlaco. And I said, well, this team's due. The senior class is due.
Ground ball back to the mound, throw over to first, and that's an out.
See, right now, Adi's got a lot of spin on her ball, so she's getting a lot of these girls to get on top of the ball. And like I said, she's got the best changeup in the Valley.
That'll bring up Crystal Perez. Batting from the right-hand side, Perez stands in. First pitch, strike call.
You know, in the region final, they lost to eventual state champion San Antonio O'Connor. So, you know, I know there's no moral victories, but you can look at it at the end of the day and say, well,
that's back up the middle. Throw across to first is in time for the out. Nice play by shortstop there for the West.
yeah, that's a good heads-up play there from OB. That's Kaylee O'Brien, and technically that's a 1-6-3 putout. That ball just went off the glove of Adi.
2 quick outs here in the second inning. And up comes Jamie Gonzalez. First pitch to her.
That's Katia.
Oh, this is Katia, okay.
It's Katia Reyes. Pitcher versus pitcher.
So is that already the first lineup change we see?
No, it's Reyes is batting 7th. Jamie's in the on-deck circle.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. You're good, you're good. It's kind of hard to see through the netting, kind of sort of out here in the outfield with this makeshift fence is really what it is. It's not a net.
Here's the next one coming. That gets by for a ball.
Katia Reyes, she's going to be going to McLennan. That's a very good school that a lot of they're starting to recruit heavily down here in the valley. Lily Rocha, she's a junior for Harlingen. She's committed to go there, and it's a good place for Katia to be. It's a good program. They have great facilities.
Fouls that one back to the screen.
You know, and the crazy thing is that her dad's a truck driver, and he doesn't spend a lot of time at home. But when at the signing, at her signing earlier this year, he said, I could hardly see Katia played, but I relied on Real Sports, and a lot of the games he watched was through us when he was on the road.
That's just outside for a ball.
The good news for Westaco fans is Katia's younger sister was one of the newcomers of the year in 32-6A, so Mario Rodriguez has another Reyes coming through the pipeline just like Diaz Camillas.
Next pitch coming. It's a foul ball at her feet.
Yeah, it's a good at-bat. Again, it sounds like a broken record, but it's a very good matchup. Two of the bigger names when you think softball and Sainz and Reyes.
Here comes the next one. Swinging a little foul ball out of play on the first base side.
Very good at bat. Just to speak to the depth on this East lineup, Jamie Gonzalez is batting 8th. She'll bat 3, 4, 5 anywhere else. Katia Reyes the same. She's batting 7th. She's a 3, 4, 5 hitter.
Reyes up with nobody on and 2 outs here in the second. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout and the inning over. 1, 2, 3 in the second for the East. No runs, no hits, no errors, no walks, nobody left. This is the Coaches All-Star Game. We'll talk to you about a showcase, the Rio Sports Showcase, next inning after this. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for a fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito. Back here on Real Sports Live, we're in San Juan, Texas on a Tuesday night. Overcast skies at the city park as you see the crowd behind the screen there. That is a big crowd on hand here for this, Kevin.
Oh, it's a great crowd, and I wish. Yeah, there it is. I was gonna say it's big when you know people are lined up down the third and first base lines, and that's exactly what we see. I love it because you can barely see an empty space behind the dugouts. I mean, over at the home plate as well.
Yep.
It's a packed house. I love to see it. I mean, geez, at the College World Series, they kept breaking records for attendance each game, and the TV ratings were amazing. And I just checked our Facebook. We got a lot of people tuning in right now. But like I say, my heart is happy to see all these people coming out and to watch the All-Star Game. And like you said, there's one more treat at the end of the month, too.
That's all down the third baseline there as Rudy scans the camera down that way. We'll get back to that in a little bit. This is the Coaches All-Star Game, and up now is Aaliyah Reyes, scheduled to hit here to lead off the third inning for the West All-Stars.
Yeah, Aaliyah Reyes, she batted .390 this year with an OBP of .519.
Swing and a miss to start it out.
You know, and these pitchers, they've told a story early on.
Next pitch coming. Just a little over a ball.
Also, we have a new pitcher in the game as well. So Janisa Ramos from Harlingen South is the new pitcher for the east side. As Reyes' stat line is closed for now. Starter can always come back and re-enter the game.
That's a ball, and we've not seen many balls thrown. 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings recorded against the East All-Stars. That's low for a ball. And we're going to do our best to keep tabs on substitutions.
Yeah, so am I. Julie Rodriguez from Weslaco is now in front of us here in left. Jamie Gonzalez is now doing the catching with Janisa now in the circle. Alyssa Garcia is in the game. Giselle Pettis is in at third from Donna. Alyssa Garcia's from Lyford. Ileana still in center. So a couple of substitutions here defensively for the east side. And Ariana Cabrera from Weslaco East is now out in right field. Chloe's still in at first.
And Aaliyah Reyes is indeed at the plate for the West All-Stars. First pitch after the pause in the action, and that misses for a ball, and there's a walk. A leadoff walk here in the third for the East. For the West, that is. First base runner of the game for the West All-Stars. As Reyes draws the walk, and here's Leslie Tamez at the plate. Bunts that one foul for strike one.
Leslie Tamez over from Edinburgh North. You know, the crazy thing with Edinburgh North was that because they didn't make the playoffs this year, that snapped a 22-year streak of making the playoffs. In other words, first time in 22 years, Edinburgh North's not in the playoffs. First time in, or not the first time in his career, but it's been 22 years. Tressler started that program at Edinburgh North, didn't make it the first few years. And since then, every year the Lady Cougars were in the postseason.
Tamez waits, takes ball, it gets away, but runner stays put down at first base. For the West All-Stars, a leadoff walk here in the top of this third inning. Scheduled 8-inning game, by the way. Fans out there who are tuning in.
That's cool with me. We could have gone 9, I would have been fine.
Here's the next one. Ball outside, that also gets away. Runner stays put down at first base.
And Janisa Ramos, she'll be at Texas A&M Kingsville. She'll be joining her former teammate Quintana Muniz. Shout out to them, Sunny and Deborah. Most likely are tuning in, and last week I went to go visit them. We were watching the OU Texas game.
There's a ground ball and play at first out there. Runner down to second base.
And Alex, their son, was upset that we changed the channel from the NBA Finals to the College World Series, and we're like, you're outvoted 3-1. But that sparked the conversation, and I was asking Sonny, I'm like, well, at least football's on the, it's around the corner, and the Astros are playing. He's like, well, I don't watch any of that. So you don't watch the Astros? No. You don't watch the Cowboys? No. And then Deborah's like, we just watch softball, 24/7 in this house. I was like, I can do that.
Here comes Clarissa Garcia to the plate for the West All-Stars. First pitch to her. Takes it for a strike call. All right, this is the Coaches All-Star Game, taking place on a Tuesday. Wait a week and a couple of days, and on Saturday, join us in Raymondville for the Rio Sports Live All-Star Showcase on the softball side. There's a ground ball to second, bobbled, and safe at first base. Another runner down to third. And a miscue allows a scoring opportunity here for the East.
And really their first real opportunity with some ducks on the pond. It's going to be an E4. With Harley Sedina coming to the plate. Now with one down and runners on the corners first and third.
We'll key up a coach. Let's see if we can hear what she's saying.
Make a play. Okay, she was out, dead out. He was too far away. Let's just relax, okay? Make a play right now. Runners on the corners, okay? So, yes. Got it? Let's do it. Let's go. Let's put it away. Come on.
Right here. Big D on 3. 1, 2, 3, Big D.
Let's go.
Well, we got to hear a little bit of what Coach has to say. First of all, she thought she was out.
Nothing wrong with that. For people watching, nothing wrong with that.
Situation, though, is at hand. Runner down in scoring position for the West All-Stars. Top of the order up. It was Elena Garza who led it off. I didn't check if it was Elena who's just stepped to the plate. Looks like it is.
It's Harley Sedina at the plate.
Harley Sedina at the plate. Yep. First pitch to her. May a hitter gets away. Runner trying to score and safe there. It's a 1-0 West lead. Down to third on that, but the run gets across.
Just heads up base running.
So a walk and an error puts a base runner across for the first score of this game. Brings up Elena Garza to the plate. Well, scheduled, it's Kaylee O'Brien. Who is this up right now, Kevin?
It's for the west side. It's Harley Sedina. That first pitch was a ball that she took inside.
So it's still Serna at the plate. One down in the inning, runner down at third. That's a change up that's in there for a strike. Next pitch coming. Outside for a ball.
That's a good take. La Jolla had a pretty good year. I think they caught a lot of people by surprise. Arlette Hernandez just took the Valley by storm with what she did as a freshman. And the crazy thing is that Harley was the only senior on that team. So, some can say that, well, they may have been a year ahead of schedule. with all that youth, but they're all coming back next year.
Next pitch coming. Foul ball.
And then everybody, that knows softball in La Jolla back in the early 2000s, late 90s, no one could touch them. Monica Rodriguez, Clarissa Navarro, she's the GOAT of Valley softball with what La Jolla did in the early 2000s. They had that 6-year stretch.
Pitch coming here. Just misses outside.
Ooh, that looked good to me from here, but
anytime you see a catcher hold on to the ball just a little longer, in the major leagues, that's a conversation going on between a catcher and an umpire.
Right, and Jamie's one of the best when it comes to framing pitches. That's why she got me from here. It looked good.
Pitch here is away, yes. And that's a ball 4.
Yeah, there you go. You see, she's framed. That was high, but still a good frame there from Jamie. But
good camera work there on Rudy and having her dialed in.
Yeah, good call. Good call at the plate.
We'll get a courtesy runner on there, I believe. At least we're going to have a conversation.
Yeah, it's going to be first and third. And, Paul Cruz, he's done it for a very long time, well-respected, because he just now retired. And when you talk about guys who are men and women who are pioneers in the sport, Paul Cruz is one of them. There he is.
After talking with his runners, he'll come down and now talk to the hitter. One last instruction. Oh, by the way.
Yes. Let's see if he swaps up the lineup card, which I expect he will. That's what the lineup he gave me. It should be Caitlin Handy from Pioneer.
Left-handed hitter stands in. Runners at the corner. Still only one out here in the third. That's high for a ball.
It's Caitlin Loetta. Recognized her by her helmet, RGV Heat. So again, the lineup's changing as we go back to the top of the order. In the first 2 innings, it was Alina Garza from Edinburgh High. Now we're looking at Caitlin Loetta, one of the Loetta girls from PSJ North.
She's ready, waits. Here it comes, shows a bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike. Runner goes down to second base uncontested. Runners go to second and third. Still one out in the inning.
Loetta batted .467 this year. So it'll be Loetta and Emily Palacios who will be inserted into the lineup this time through.
There's a foul ball out of play.
She fouls that one off. PSJ North, again, had a very good year. They beat San Benito again for the second straight year out of 31-6A, winning that district. They were head and shoulders. I hadn't seen a team with so much athleticism and power like PSJ North did. They were a very, very good softball team. They lost to Harlan in the second round.
Two in scoring position here. That one misses.
And Coach Joe Ortiz is here. Spotted him there. But down here down the left field line, we have Kevin Ledesma. Joey Rios is here. Angel Gonzalez, his assistant. I know Kevin Knipe should be here, coach for Heat. Joe Ortiz is, of course, his partner in crime on RGV Heat. In fact, he's one of our coaches on our showcase. She went. She sure did. Yeah, she chased on the rise.
They checked the swing, and she did go around. 2 down.
That's a big strikeout for Janisa, just to kind of settle the nerves down. And OB comes back to the plate. Another Heat product.
Pitch coming here. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. A run across. Still no hits in the inning for the West. A couple of walks and an error have plated a run. And that'll miss for a ball.
That's Mr. Leal here, always coming by to say hey.
That misses for a ball, and they may just be outright pitching around her. But, Kevin, with these lineups, I'm not sure who you could pick to pitch around much.
Yeah, just a little trouble finding her location here. Nothing to overthink. But Janice's she's pitched her way out of jams before.
Has to bring this one in, and that catches the corner.
Yeah, Harlingen battery mate there with Gonzalez, a Lady Cardinal, and Janisa, a Lady Hawk. They've had some games in the past.
Next pitch coming. Swing and a foul ball back to the screen.
You know, this is one of those fields where it's really interesting, where it's turf in the infield and then grass in the outfield. Not sure if I ever understood that, but
When we first came over here to site survey this, we just paid attention to the turf, and then you get here and you realize there's grass out there beyond that infield area. There's a foul ball out of play on the first base side. Beyond the West dugout. They lead 1-0. This is a pivotal at bat here with 2 aboard in scoring position. You get out of this inning, got to feel good if you're the East.
yeah, you know, because you have so much firepower. You know you can get one back. I mean, heck, you can even get a few back with one swing, but nothing to freak out about. But you know, Audi Signs, we'll see if Paul Cruz goes to Alina or Lissa. It's a righty and 2 lefties, though. That's the catch. And then the lineup stacked with righties. That's
Pitch is in there for a strike called, and the inning is over for the West. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Again, no hits. There were a couple of walks. There was an error. 2 left in scoring position for the West. They do tally a run. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. For the East, it'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up. There they are. Let's see if Coach is talking to them and their microphone's working. Nope.
Hey, they were like, score first on 3, and then one of them, no, they did that. That already happened.
Back after this.
When excellence in academics meets discovery on the court, in the arts, with institutions of higher education and beyond, we are the future leaders, and our success starts now. La Villa ISD, Cardinal Pride.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past? first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Back here in San Juan on a Tuesday night. West All-Stars have a lead, 1-0. Will one run win this game, Kevin?
No. I'd be shocked. And the way, it was a pass ball. It wasn't a traditional way. No, I'd be absolutely shocked if this game ends up 1-0.
But a run across and the West lead, and the East will have the 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up. All right, we talked about it a little bit. This is the Coaches All-Star Game. Our Rio Sports Showcase is something we have been, we've been wanting to do for 2 years. We got the basketball showcase in the books, which kind of set the blueprint. But softball, let's use a baseball softball term, is going to knock it out of the park, Kevin, with the players we've got coming Saturday and Sunday next week, all coming to Raymondville, Texas.
Right. We got 6 teams, 3 from the RGV, 3 from the Coastal Bend. And, sitting back and just looking at the finished product and who signed up, who's coming, it's going to be amazing. And I can't wait for that weekend. And, not only is it seniors, but there's juniors, there's sophomores, and there's some freshmen there that are truly deserving. And it's going to be a great event because just the names that we have there, like I was talking with Mr. O'Brien before the game.
There's a shot into left field, and that's going to be a base hit. Leadoff single for the East.
Yeah, Jamie Gonzalez, like her buddy Jules Garcia, one of the better hitting catchers we have. A tremendous work ethic, Jamie. The girl, literally, that's all she does is softball. A batting cage in her backyard. She plays for RGV Heat. She'll be at Coastal Bend College. But Jamie will, in fact, be on the Rebels for us in a couple weeks. She was excited to be a part of it. And, just the names that are on there. There's a lot of girls that you're seeing right now on your screen in the dugout that will be at our showcase. Just to think about the pitching matchup with, potentially Andrea Martinez from Bishop going up against Katia Reyes from Weslaco. It's just those are easily two of the best pitchers in their classification. Bishop in 3A, Katia in 6A, really and in the state. It's the truth.
Well, let's talk about it first of all. As the showcase will be played next Saturday, beginning at 9 o'clock in the morning with the first game. 6 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, and a champion will be decided out of that as we set them up into pool play. First pitch was bunted, second pitch bunted, a better bunt, and it's going to be dropped, and everybody's safe, first and second. So the games are set. Let's go back in time, and let's reveal the blueprint. First and foremost, we learned during basketball, if you want to do it and get the absolute best players available, it's one thing to send an invitation. It's a second to gather a committee together that says, let's get this thing in place and set up dates. Kevin, just the assembly of as there's a foul ball out of play, the assembly of the players involved, if you will, in the committee. Let's talk about that process.
So the committee on how we got the committee together. Yeah, I just I chose I chose people that I could trust, people that are well respected in this game, and knew that there was going to be no fluff or any daddy ball, so to speak, and as a term that I can use, and it's a true term, a real term in this game. The committee that we picked, Beretta Esparza as a coach, one of only 3 coaches to reach the region final in the RGV. Kevin Kanipe, who is well respected throughout the entire RGV as a travel ball coach. Tracy Blackman, who's been to the Sweet 16 a couple of times at Divine, had a tremendous run down in Los Fresnos. And then we had Orly Garcia down at Pioneer in the Class 5A from the Upper Valley. Myself, and then we had, of course, Debbie Esparza, who she's a legend in my eye, and she practically wrote the rule book. So getting this group together, getting them to come together as one. And for them, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and taking all of my texts and calls and just putting this roster together. And we all met. Each one of us brought a top list of 40 girls, and we laid it on the table and said, who's in, who's out. We divided it into 3 teams. And, and I let people know that it was straight up, who is the best. And I wish some people could be a fly on the wall and just hear the conversations that we had on who's going to be here and who's going to be what and who can do this and who can do that. And I just feel that the finished product, it's hard to find another roster as stacked as these 3, as these 3 go. Some girls, unfortunately, were invited but couldn't make it. And there is such thing as an alternative list. That's just the way the world works. And people took it and said, hey, we'll sign up. Let's do it. Let's play.
Meanwhile, while your committee was formed and you started gathering names, there was softball season still going on, and some of the coaches that were providing input were involved in coaching some high-level playoff games at the same time.
Right. And up in the Coastal Bend, we had AJ Cabrero from Carroll. We had Paula Salinas from CC Veterans. Chris Vasquez, who's our representative up in the Coastal Bend for softball. We had myself, Derek Saldivar, who is a well-respected guy who coached Team MVP. And then, of course, we had Coach Teresa Lentz, who, mind you, was, like you said, she had a couple of things to do during the time we were picking. But up in the Coastal Bend, a major shout-out to the committee up there because the talent up there in the Coastal Bend is amazing. The girls we have that are going to be a part of this showcase, a lot of them are sophomores and freshmen. And I truly believe girls like Alyssa Burge, Shelby Peel, Brooklyn Metter, who are sophomores and freshmen, have such a high ceiling for their careers. And when it's all said and done, Joe, some of these girls can legit go D1. That's how good these girls are. And it amazes me, girls like Ava Hernandez, who's a junior this year. She'll be in our home run derby. She's the ace for Alice. And she was very mythical, so to speak, because last year when we learned of her as a sophomore, that there was this pitcher from Alice who can throw 65. And I said, what? 65? Pat Murphy would be here watching if she threw 65. And when we went and saw her, when I went and covered their game against Zapata, the legend held true. And my friend Brett Esparza, him and his wife were scouting for Rio Hondo, and he had it on his gun. And I said, is she a true 65? And he showed me the gun, and there it was, 65. So, just the level of talent up there.
Throw to first. That'll score a run. Play down to third base, not there. We're tied at a run apiece. Little small ball, and the East is on board.
Yeah, I'm digging it. There's nothing wrong with the small ball. That's the bread and butter of teams that are successful that play late into May and into June. But yeah, no, it was a lot of hard work these last 2 months, along with traveling. My gosh, the month of May was all around from Jordanton to Cal Allen, Corpus, all across the valley, and a couple of bus trips where I sat on my phone and was sending out invitations and just getting in touch with people, and the feedback's been really good. I know when we mentioned the home run derby, everyone go, what? You gonna have a home run derby?
There's a ground ball to short.
Good pick.
That'll score another run. And that's the third out. So we stayed tied. 1 apiece after 3. We'll continue to talk about our showcase, and we'll continue to broadcast here the Coaches All-Star Game. This is the 16th annual. It's coming to you from San Juan, Texas on a beautiful Tuesday night. We'll be back with more right after this.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
We're the Lady Cougars and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
We are the Harlingen Lady Cardinals and you're watching Real.
Back here at Real Sports, we head to the top of the fourth inning, and the West All-Stars, who scored the game's first run in the top of the third, saw a run come across in the bottom of the third, and so we're all tied up as we head to the fourth. First pitch is a foul ball for strike one. Going back to the showcase, go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, the last 2 months, it's been a lot of work, especially with the committee and coaches still being involved with their seasons. But like I said, from top to bottom, there's so much talent. And looking at the pitching, you have Andrea Martinez, you have Bree Ford, you have Ava Hernandez, you have Claudia Garza from Zapata, which I feel is that's a team that they've had so much success over the last few years, and they're just, Zapata's kind of in no man's land where they're not really in the Laredo coverage area, they're not really in the San Antonio coverage area, or really for the Valley, but that 29 4A district with Cal Allen, Zapata, Alice, Toloso Midway, Robstown with Celeste Trevino, stacked with pitching. We did invite Reese Atwood, who's a future Longhorn. She had a tournament in Colorado. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to make it. Emma Garcia, the lefty too from TM, she also had another tournament that she was committed to. So if you see this roster and you say, well, I wonder where she's at, or just bear in mind that it's possible that she was invited, but she just, there's that Sparkler going on in Colorado. That's one of the bigger tournaments that a lot of these girls are going to be going to.
I was going to say, we've got girls, and there's a strikeout to start the inning. A lot of the girls in our showcase, many of the girls, are indeed going to take flights even Sunday night to head out to Colorado.
Yes, I talked with Meredith Metter today, and she's like, she goes, championships at 4 o'clock. I said, yeah, the chip's at 4. We're playing 7 innings. I said, it's a 27-minute drive from Raymondville to Harlingen, and I said, I promise, don't worry. It's a small airport. There won't be any traffic. I don't know if you're thinking it's like George Bush where you're going to have to get there a few hours before. I said, you can get there an hour before, check your bags in, hop on a plane and go. But you know what? A shout-out to all the parents that are doing that. The Salcedos are going to drive from Raymondville to Colorado to play in our showcase and to go play in Colorado. In fact, they're getting ready to go to Kansas City tomorrow, so a big thank you to all the parents who are making it happen by playing in our showcase, grabbing a flight, going to Colorado, or driving to another state just to play in our showcase. That means a lot to me. It means a lot to you, and it means a lot to the sport, really.
Well, I know, Kevin, that when our basketball showcase was taking place, that softball season was in place. And I remember there's a little liner to second base, and that's caught for the out. 2 quick outs here. That the conversation was literally the next day after our showcase ended on a Sunday, softball players and coaches were saying, we're bringing better players down from the Coastal Bend to play in your softball showcase.
Yeah.
And it began, the bragging rights began before this thing even starts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not going to I'm not going to agree or disagree to what they said about as far as the talent level, because I think both sides can really go up and get it. Because it's such a different game opposed to football where size matters. Softball size don't matter. It's between what's in the ears and what's in your heart. And I think every girl that's going to be a part of our showcase is not only worthy.
Ground ball to third, over and out. We'll just keep it here in between innings. Go ahead.
Some good defense. They're truly deserving and what they've done over their last few years. Some girls, that are freshmen like Brooklyn, who came onto the scene as a freshman and was the newcomer of the year in that district, hit 13 home runs, batted over 500, who she's just now starting her career. And then you look at a girl on the flip side, a girl like Katia Reyes, who's a senior, and she's written her story at Weslaco. So there's going to be so many good storylines. The softball community is very, very small. In fact, Yezi Perez from South, she's a sophomore this year. She hit 13 home runs, had an amazing year for South. She knows Megan Geyer from Cal Allen because they played on the travel ball team together. So we made that connection there. Shout out to her dad, Scott and Sal. We just kind of, I don't know how we connected the dots, but the communities are very small. So not only are the kids looking forward to it, but the parents as well, saying, hey, well, I know her, we know them, we played against them here, we played together here. So I think it's going to be a really, really great weekend, and it's going to be all on a turf field. For those that are wondering why Raymondville, it's a brand new facility. It's a turf facility. It's right off Highway 77. For people that are coming down from Corpus, it's a skip and a hop, really, right off 77. Shout out to Frank Cantu for allowing us to play there. And I've told people, it's public knowledge, that we looked into Harlingen, the two fields at Harlingen, at Dixieland and Harlingen Field. Thank you to Coach Davies for taking the phone call and listening. We thought about maybe going up to Cal Allen or Kingsville. Bishop, Cal Allen, we kind of mixed it up a little bit, but we felt Raymondville was the place to be. And why turf? Well, we can't predict the weather, right?
Right.
Just imagine if we would have been ready to go and it's pouring rain that day. We don't know that. So the turf was our saving grace and why we chose that location. And it's a brand new facility. It's beautiful. When you see it, you'll be like, aha. There's a stands in left field, and I understand they're going to add extended bleachers.
Well, I talked to Coach this week, and he was like, we're going to reach out to all of our neighbor schools and try to bring in as much seating as we can, because again, as we're here at this city park in San Juan, we were just talking off the air that they're looking at how they can bring more seating in for next year. This event for the coaches will be back here next year. Here's the first pitch and a swing and a miss as we go into the bottom of the fourth, all tied at 1 apiece. So yeah, I think first and foremost, fans who are coming, bring your lawn chairs. We're gonna get as much seating in there as possible, but I can foresee just a jam-packed crowd there to watch these games. And again, Kevin, the one thing we talked about as you were heavily involved with that committee, getting all the players together. The next phase was, how are we going to cap this? There's a ground ball in left field. There's a base hit to lead off the fourth for the East All-Stars.
Yeah, that was Liana Salcedo with a leadoff single. Adi Sainz still pitching for the West Side.
So as we were starting to gather the names and starting to figure out who was going to be able to play, and we already had the venue locked in. We had the dates locked in. That was a big assist, too, by the committee of saying, okay, you travel ball coaches, give us some input. Season's over for high school. What's going on travel? As that ball gets away, Saucedo's going to get down to second base. So then the next question was playing time. And the only way to assure playing time in a competitive, high-level, game-after-game event was to limit the number of players on rosters. Kevin, we could have went 15, and we could have made it difficult, to say the least, on coaches to make sure players got adequate playing time. But we limited the rosters, which were released yesterday. But there was a. I talk about it. I think every piece of this was like constructing a playoff football scenario in the NCAA. There's a high fly ball into right field. That's caught. No, dropped. Saucedo's going to have to hold up. She'll get to third. Now she'll be brought home. Here's the play at the plate. Safe there. Down to third base. Now rounding third. Coming in to score. Play there. And no indication yet. Safe there. 2-run score for the East.
She looks safe to me, and the home plate umpire, he never picked up his hands, but
2 runs across for the East All-Stars. We have the replay on that? See what we can see on our replay. Brought to you by South Padre Island. Talk about getting decoyed, as the replay will go on your right-hand screen. The live play will be on your left.
Man, these two. I think the play might have been too long.
We'll move on. And the East All-Stars have grabbed the lead. There's a line drive into right center field. That's going to get to the fence. Rounding first base, it goes under the fence. It'll be a ground rule double. And the East All-Stars have come into this fourth inning, and the bats have come to life.
Yeah, their bats are starting to wake up, and it was only a matter of time when you have girls. I mean, good grief. Salcedo, Altamirano, Garcia, Perez. That middle of the lineup, it's pretty daunting when you look at it up and down the lineup card. Leilani Cruz from Brownsville Rivera will be the courtesy runner, as Paul Cruz will come out to have a chat with Adi.
We continue to talk about our Rio Sports Showcase, which is the 25th and 26th of June. Mark your calendars, 9 a.m. the first game, and championship will be played on Sunday. Now let's talk about limiting the players, Kevin. It wasn't that we had a lack of players we could have chosen and loaded up those rosters and filled it up for coaches. But by limiting it, I think we ensure that the coaches are able to coach to win,
right.
Players are all able to play, and we staggered the games and the playing so that everyone that's on these teams is going to get some quality playing time.
Right, and you're going to get 2 games per team, or 2 games in 1 day per team. And one thing that I was talking with the committee is that, these girls are playing travel ball right now as we speak. The fact that first game is at 9 a.m. is really no big deal to anybody that's going to be involved, because guess what? They just did it last weekend. But to the point of limiting the roster, because we wanted to keep it competitive. That was the idea of it. And the magic number was 12, where we went with 3 pitchers and 2 catchers. And then the way, the committee looked at it was that, a shortstop, she can play the outfield, the shortstop, or the second baseman can play short. This pitcher can play first. Just, they're going to move them around. They're going to move the pieces around.
There's a line drive caught and over to third. Out there. It's a double play.
Yeah, that's a double play right there. Good heads-up play. That's it. That's a key double play right there for the West, especially right after a timeout from Paul Cruz. Because right there the wheels were starting to spin for the West side. Madison Lopez, just a heads-up play at the shortstop position right there to turn 2. The magic number, like I said, was 12, and I believe we have 12, 11, 11, and you play 9, you have 2 girls on the bench, and everyone's going to get some playing time. And another thing that the first idea was we were going to go 7 innings in 2 locations. And, and again, talking with the committee and just getting the ideas that, 6 games in 1 field is not a big deal for these girls. So then we decided to then, as we shared the format was the 70-minute time window. I did not want to go drop dead, so we went to the ITB, second and third. That way normally it's a runner on second in the ITB, but we went second and third.
Strikeout ends the inning. A double play and a strikeout ends the rally, but in the inning for the East All-Stars, they push a couple of runs across and have taken their first lead of the day. They've out-hit the West 5-0 and now lead 3-1. We'll continue our discussion about the Rio Sports Showcase and continue our production and broadcast of the Coaches' 16th Annual Rio Grande Valley East-West All-Star Game from San Juan after this on Rio Sports Live.
The Brownsville Independent School District continues to provide a safe environment for enriching education. From pre-K3 to early college high school, the award-winning district has advanced its legacy in curriculum, athletics, and fine arts. Teachers are driving the frontier of technology, bringing industry to the classroom. On and off the field, Brownsville ISD students engage in the experiences that make them college and career ready. Brownsville Independent School District, the best choice.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
I love what I do. I really
love what
do.
I'm doing. I love children.
One of the most important things to do is to love your students.
Imagine teachers like these helping your child prepare to change the world. Take a closer look at Mission CISD.
We're the Harlingen Lady Hawks, and you're watching Rio Sports Live. Awesome!
Back here, Rio Sports Live in San Juan, Texas, and the West All-Stars in the blue uniforms are at bat. And they'll have to go to work now as they trail in this one 3-1. First pitch, line drive, there's a start, there's a base hit into left field. One pitch and a base runner in the fifth for the West.
Just like that, the West have a base runner. As Jenna Fabella, PSJ North Lady Raider and future Vernon College product.
Gets that hit. Up steps Bailey Hernandez. Shows a bunt, bunts it out to the pitcher's mound. Throw to first, out there. That's a good sacrifice. Runner down to second.
So Rian Cortinas will come in. You know, Rio Grande City was a very sneaky good team this year, Joe. They upset Carroll in that first round in a series that you actually covered. Bella Ramirez, in fact, their shortstop, will be a part of our showcase.
There's a first pitch. It hits her. Go ahead.
So a shaky start. New pitcher in the game for the East, and that's the Lyford senior, Mia Weddegrove. She was also named the Valley Morning Star MVP, and rightfully so. Old Mia, you know, she's been in that program for 4 years, and you know how selfless she is. Just take a look back at her career, and she was under, you know, she was in Jericho Rojas' shadow the first few years, and a lot would argue that, or make a point that in 2019 was her breakout year. She understood her role. She knew what her role was on that team, and then when it became her time to be the ace in the hole, she did exactly that. And this year, for the first time in that program history, they beat Santa Gertrudis in the playoffs.
Well, that's the next thing I was going to talk about in the showcase. Is I've been putting together the program, and one of the neat parts of the program this time for the softball, there's a line drive down the line. That's a foul ball into left field corner. One of the neat things about the program is the fact that we asked the players when they submitted their entry to give us a season memory that highlighted the season and a career memory. And that's going to all be in the program guide for the showcase. And some of the stories, Kevin, I was telling you last night, are just amazing on some of the memories these girls have. And Mia Weddegrove being on that team, anything that Lyford talks about this season being a memory starts and usually ends with, and we beat Santa Gertrudis.
Yeah, and it's a huge win for that program, and it's going to go a very long way. And you know what? Stop it. Oh, they're not the same SGA. I understand that, but for a team like Lyford, they were they were down 1-0 getting off the bus going into that series. It's a fact, because every year they run into SGA in the second round, and they could never get over that hump. And there is such a thing as that mental edge. And this year, Lyford overcame that. And much like Weslaco, we said, well, they're due a run. I hate COVID, and I hate the 2020 year, especially because Lyford had every tool in place to make a run and take down SGA. Now, granted, they would eventually ran into Bishop, right, in probably round 3 or 4, or maybe a Hallettsville in the region final. We don't know. But for Mia to, her, MJ right here and left, and for Haley Peña, for those seniors to put it all together, they overcame so much. Joey Rios leaving Lyford to go coach at South. Shout out to my guy, Albert Garza. The special thing there, too, is with that storyline is Albert coached all these girls when they were little. When they were 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and he promised them that I'm going to coach you one day in high school. And he did that. So there was so much more meaning, not only to beat SGA, but to make it all the way to the Sweet 16. And they tied. That's the, how do I say this? Second team to make the Sweet 16. So a lot of history with this team, and Mia Weddegrove is good people.
Mia's also in our showcase, and she'll be most likely pitching some. This time she records a strikeout to end the inning. And so despite having a couple of base runners, the West strand a couple. And we head to the bottom of the fifth. We'll continue talking about our showcase, the Rio Sports Live showcase, coming to you in Raymondville on June 25th and 26th. Raymondville, Texas. The softball world converges. The best of the best from the Coastal Bend against the best of the Rio Grande Valley. We'll talk about how we even set it up for the pools and the teams and the schedules after this on Rio Sports Live.
Needs discovery on the court, in the arts, with institutions of higher education and beyond. We are the future leaders, and our success starts now. La Villa ISD, Cardinal Pride.
We're the Ray Texans, and you're watching Rio Sports Live.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
We envision that San Perlita ISD will help our students acquire the necessary knowledge, communication, and problem-solving skills through a variety of educational and social experiences to become productive citizens in our global society. Be a part of the change to help create a community where we guide each other to our unlimited potential.
We are Santa Rosa, and you're watching.
Back here, Rio Sports Live. Let's show you something that's developing. Let's look at the crowd out beyond the outfield fence now here in San Juan, Texas. You think softball isn't a big deal in the RGV? This is the showcase, the All-Stars West versus East. And Kevin, we know they're lined up behind home plate. They're lined up down the lines. And now look at the outfield, all the fans that are here watching this game.
Yeah, it's Orly Garcia out there. He was a part of our committee, Sharyland Pioneer head coach. He's out there.
There's another testament to those in the early years of Rio Sports Live who would say, when you guys are there, I'm worried our attendance. San Juan invited us to be here for the Golden Gloves boxing competition, and they were like, no, we appreciate the broadcast. You brought people in by your broadcast, and this again, these are fans that are here. You put a good product anywhere, yes, you can. It should be televised, but also attended in person. We want to fill those stands in Raymondville, which we will. But again, a testament here to a good product, and softball's alive and well in the Rio Grande Valley.
Alina Garza is the new pitcher in for the West. Very crafty lefty, drop, screw, curve. Like I said, she's not going to blow it by you, but she's very crafty. And Henry Reyes there in the Rawlings t-shirt. Another guy that he's an Edinburgh guy. Anyone here in Edinburgh knows Henry. In my brief coaching time with softball, he was one of the guys that I always called for advice.
He's the tallest guy there behind home plate, standing up in the Rawlings shirt.
Yeah, Henry is at least a healthy 6'5". He's good people. His daughter was Amber Reyes, the great Amber Reyes from Edinburgh High.
There's a pop-up back near the screen, and that drifts out of play. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning. The East All-Stars hitting and leading 3-1. Again, this game is scheduled to go 8 innings. Now, Kevin, let's talk about pools for our showcase next week, because we lined it up and we started looking at rosters saying, all right, we've established good pitching, good catching for each team. That was the first criteria. And then the hitters started being assembled. And then it was like, well, is there a favorite? And we looked up and down the line. There might have been a favorite in the RGV and a favorite in the Coastal Bend. But I'll tell you right now, there's a pool A and a pool B, and you could look up and down the lineup and say the right things happen. Any team from either pool could make it to the championship game on day 2.
Yeah, and I was talking with some of the coaches yesterday. They're like, man, well, the Rebels have power and they have pitching, but then it's like, wait a second, the Lightning have athleticism, they have speed, they have pitching. That's a good pitch right there. And then you look at the Racers, and it's like, well, they got Arlette. and what they have on that team. And, like I said, there's a good blend and there's a good mix. And I really think, and I was talking with Debbie on Sunday, was that she's like, you and I are looking for a
That's out at first base.
That's a good play.
Bang, bang play.
That's a good play. Defense and pitching. I think that was Jenna that made that play. Forgive me, I was looking down at my scorecard. But defense and pitching could very well be the storyline when we get to that weekend. Because, like I said, the list of pitchers that are in this showcase, it's pretty amazing, and how we constructed it. And the beautiful thing too is that, you know, Kaylee O'Brien, for example, was a shortstop at Edinburgh North, but when she's during a travel ball, she plays first base and can play the outfield. When she gets to UT Dallas, she's going to be an outfielder or a first baseman. The point is that she will play shortstop. She'll play first. You know, they're going to kind of move her everywhere. Alyssa Garcia, who's also on this all-star team, was an amazing shortstop, also played second base. Coaches are looking to maybe put her in the outfield because she's athletic. So I think that was a key word in these meetings, with the athleticism of these kids and how they can play multiple positions, and having the travel ball coaches there and say, you know, she can do this, she can do that. It's like, all right, well, let's do it.
Because let's face it, a lot of times these high school coaches have got them locked into a position, and they don't need to change them. They don't need to move them around. They don't need to showcase them anywhere else.
Sure.
And then suddenly they're in a showcase like this, and travel ball coach, this is why we put them on our committee.
Right, and, you know, in some cases, you know, like Danae from Raymondville, she's a middle infielder, and this year Coach Garza needed her to play the third base position, and she went and played third base.
So the way it plays out, the pools each will play 2 games.
Yes.
There's 2 pools of 3 teams, and after the day 1, it'll be sorted out with a first place team in each pool, second place and third place, and then day 2, we begin with the first game on Sunday of the third place teams in each pool playing each other. Second place teams play next, and then a championship game. And 9 games in 2 days, and an eventual champion will be crowned. On June 25th and 26th, we do invite you to come out there. I'll talk about it a little bit more as this pitch is fouled back. We do have the link up and running to sign up right now to get your tickets early. We found out in the basketball showcase that was a big opportunity for fans to lock in their tickets, get the programs. We're limiting the number of programs we're printing. It's going to be based upon the number of orders we receive prior to the event. So if you want to get your hands on one of these programs, and it's chock full of information about each of these players, then be sure you sign up on our social media on the link in which you can pre-order your tickets for the event. She goes around, there's a strikeout, and the inning comes to an end.
Crafty lefty. That's Elena Garza.
Quick work.
Lady Bobcat.
So we'll head to the 6th. Again, we're scheduled to play 8. We're in San Juan. The city of San Juan welcomes everyone tuning in.
Bear Country.
San Juan, Texas. Back with more after this.
In a child's life happen in their earliest years. Having a strong early childhood education enhances their future and success. That's why we are opening the Harlingen CISD Early Childhood Academy for pre-K students. At HCISD, we provide these opportunities for our youngest learners to foster their imagination and let their curiosity run while they develop their love for learning. These are the early steps to success, and Harlingen CISD is with them every step of the way.
We are Edinburgh Bella, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
We are La Villa, and you're watching.
Back here on Real Sports Live. Yes, we head to the 6th inning of this one. Scheduled to 8. San Juan, Texas is the location. West All-Stars will have to go to work. Kevin, they scored the game's first run back in the 3rd inning. And They got their first hit in the 5th inning. They've been out-hit, outscored, and thus far outworked by this East All-Star team, but we talked about it before this thing started. There's opportunity waiting within these rosters to score runs. And dare say 3-1 is another score that we wouldn't have talked about that would win this game. 3-1 score, not what we expected.
Yeah, it's a 3-1 game, but hey, like I said, the pitching, Adi Signs, she did her thing in those first few innings and kind of kept the hitters off balance. And I like the change of pace from Paul Cruz from going with some good velo with Adi, then going to some junk with Alina, and then a good mix up here with the east side, going with righty with Katia, girl with a lot of velo, and then going to the lefty Janisa Ramos, and then now going to the righty Mia Weddegrove and Ileana Salcedo, who's warming up right behind us.
Pitch low and away, ball.
Sammy Signs at the plate, another Lady Bobcat for Paul Cruz. She's going to be up at Texas A&M Kingsville.
There's a little liner down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Into the corner. Rounding first. Heading to second. That's a stand-up double to lead it off for the West.
Lead-off double for Sammy Signs. Shout out to her and her family. In fact, she went to South Middle School with my younger sister, and my family actually went to her graduation party. And it was really neat because both Sammy and my sister, they had a picture of them in 5th grade together, and they reenacted that same photo with both of them as graduates this year. So Sammy's always been a good friend of my sister with them growing up. So wish her the best of luck down the road.
Leadoff double for the West brings up the tying run. Showed a bunt, took a ball low. Azanet Flores from Mission at the plate. Another player in our showcase, Kevin. No? Pops this one up.
Mickey Castillo from Mission.
That's right. I made her card yesterday,
yes.
last night.
Yeah, her father, Javier, I talked to him last night, and I ran into him actually at the volleyball league last week because Mickey's still playing volleyball. She's going to be a senior this year, so they were pretty fired up about it. Mickey plays for Chaos, and she's going to be a senior this year for the Mission Lady Eagles.
Again, putting that program together, I know the basketball program was good, but we took heart to a lot of input from the fans who picked up the basketball program, who were like, if you had this, if you had this, if you had this. And so we implemented a lot of things into the softball program that were missing. And we also implemented some things from input from college coaches that are looking at these players who were like, hey, your program needs to have this, this, and this for your showcase, for us to get that in our hands. And yes, we watch the games. If we're not in person, we'll watch it online. But we can get a copy of that program, and if you'll get this information to us, it's a big-time help. And so those programs are going to be invaluable. Here's a pop-up foul back to the screen. So I know we've talked about the showcase for the better part of 3 innings here as we're showcasing this one. But Kevin, again, it's going to be an event to measure against many. And I'm not sure it's ever been put together to this level of what we've pulled off.
No, and like I said, it goes back to just the committee and who we all chose as a committee, both here and in Corpus. And just, no compadre system. None whatsoever. I want to make that clear, and I think a lot of people understand that. And like I said, when I told fans and coaches, I said just give myself and the committee some time, and when you see the 6 rosters, you'll be like, aha, that's pretty neat. Good rise ball.
There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout.
And that's been the feedback. That's been the case. And then, man, even the home run derby is going to be fun.
Yeah, let's talk about the home run derby and the format. First of all, it was a selection of players, which was tough. because you had some teams that had more than enough firepower to say, well, let's bring two. We limited it to one, but we got some real hitters capable of putting on a show for the Home Run Derby. Let's talk about the format for that on
Saturday.
The last thing that happens on Saturday night under the lights.
Yeah, we first and foremost, we were going to have the Derby in the middle of the day, and you said, hey, let's have something kind of under the lights, getting a little cooler. So, well, let's do the Derby at 7. And from the last game, there's going to be an hour break to give the hitters an opportunity to warm up in the cages. I plan on having at least an interview with a couple of the players on the broadcast. So it'll be 2 separate broadcasts. Obviously, we'll stream the game, and then we'll have its own broadcast for the Home Run Derby. But that hour in between, if people that saw the schedule were wondering why, that's why we put that, designed it that way. You're looking up and down the list. There's 8 girls. I went and adopted the MLB format. The first 2 rounds, 3 minutes. The last round, 2 minutes. You get a 30-second timeout in each round per player. And then, obviously, if there's a tie, we'll go down to, I believe I put it to 2 minutes, or 1 minute, I believe. If you're still tied after that minute, then you're going to go to 3 pitches each into a sudden death. So I think it's going to be fun, and just the girls that we have participating in it. I mean, it's good. Like I said, it's going to be bombs away. We have Ileana Salcedo, who's here from Harlingen South, and then we have Lily Rocha, who's a junior, who's not here from Harlingen. She had 14 home runs. Crystal Perez, who's also here, she had 14 home runs. Joe Montes from San Benito, who is a freshman, she had 11 for San Benito. So, I mean, it's these girls can just, when you're gonna toss up a melon ball to them, they're gonna go up there and they're gonna get it, and we're gonna see some tape measure shots. And I went 4 from the Valley, 4 from the Coastal Bend, and then a player per each, from representing each team and school.
Let's talk about the pitching as we see a conversation going on. The East All-Stars leading this one 3-1, but 2 runners on here for the West in the 6th inning. And a lengthy discussion happening here. These coaches, too, want to win, Kevin.
They do. They really do. It's been a while, I believe, 6 straight for the East that they've won. And, they go to their old adage, the East side, strong side. That's their little chant that they like to do. But, hey, pitching coach there for the East, that's Delilah Barrera. Former Mercedes great, went and played JUCO and finished her career at Texas State. Played under Kat Osterman when she was the pitching coach at Texas State. And I joked with, I can call her Pudge. We covered her. We can call her Pudge. That was her nickname. But she said, Kevin, I feel bad. I don't know any of these girls. Like, I'm still new. And they're like, well, and the coach said, well, Coach, you're still new. This is your first year coaching, and you'll get to know them. And I said, sure. But the real question is, do they know you? Do they know who you are? I mean, you're Delilah Barrera. And she said, I don't know if they do.
There's ball 4 and a walk, and the bases are loaded now for the West All-Stars here in the 6th with 1 down. Tying run down at second base.
We're going to get a switch here. I think Coach Leal is going to bring in a 32-6A combo. So Jules Garcia will be back to catch, and Ileana Salcedo will be the new pitcher in for the East side.
Okay, continue on.
Where was I? Home Run Derby?
Yes.
Oh, Home Run Derby. So, yeah, another thing, too, is that I want this to be special for the players, obviously. Who's going to throw to them? I know that the father-daughter bond in softball, it's at the core. So I encourage the fathers to go out and throw to your daughter. If there's not a father there, the travel ball coach. If you don't have a travel ball coach, your high school coach. But the point being is I want for them to pick who they want to throw to them, and I want it to be a memorable moment. And I know Father's Day is coming up, and I know the fathers that I've spoken with, they're excited. They're excited to throw to their girls for a home run derby. I think that's going to make a really special moment. And it's going to be really cool because, again, shout out to our good friend Mario Alvarado, who will be providing us with a trophy for the home run derby. So whoever wins the home run derby gets to take home some hardware. I think that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, Mario is providing the trophies. He provided the trophies and the medals for the basketball showcase, and we talked about it, and I talked to him at length about it. I talked to you a little bit as well about the trophy for the home run derby is indeed going to be taken home by the player.
Right.
But we're going to create kind of like a Stanley Cup for the trophy of the winning team of the showcase. And we're going to put their name on a plaque on the trophy. It'll be photo opportunity galore, but we talked about it after the basketball. Who's going to take that thing home?
Right.
In this case, no one's going to take it home. We'll bring it, put it away, and bring it back next year. And it'll forever have the plaque of the team on the base of who won the inaugural showcase for the Rio Sports Live softball showcase.
Right, because after the Rebels won on the girls' side that weekend at the Island, they said, well, Kevin, who keeps the trophy? And I said, that's a good question.
So we figured that out. It's going to be a trophy that will have a plaque on the base defining who won the 2022. And then that trophy will be brought back out next year for the showcase. And
so the trophy stays at your house then?
Yes.
Until we bring it back out.
Or
Okay.
the office. We'll put it
Sure.
in the office.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing to do.
Probably. And then when it comes time, we'll bring it back out again.
Anybody needs it from the winning team to take some photo ops, do it there. If you, I guess we could do a Stanley Cup. If you need to take it home for a week, we'll let you do it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean that's cool too.
We'll be creative.
So Ileana is the new pitcher in for the East Side.
There's a little looper out to second, steps on there, and the inning comes to an end. Ileana Sauceda in relief gets the job done. In the sixth for the West All-Stars, by far their best chance with base runners. They'll strand 3. We head to the bottom of the sixth, East-West All-Stars. This is the 16th annual Coaches All-Star, brought to you in part by Esparza Enterprises. They threw out the first pitch. Esparza Enterprises Pest Control, serving the Rio Grande Valley for over 60 years. Now training the third generation of applicators. Adrian Esparza, a big part of sponsoring and assisting the coaches who allowed us to broadcast this event. West All-Stars back to the field. East All-Stars trying to build on their 3-1 lead after this on Rio Sports Live.
Find the opportunity to purchase the best high-quality scrubs. Soon after I learned about how the EDC was helping out the community, and so I did meet with Ms. Castillo. She made it very easy, very friendly, and she walked me every step of the way. I couldn't have done it without their help.
Come visit our new store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles, and more. All funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
I love what I do. I
love
really
what
do.
I'm doing. I love children. One of the most important things to do is to love your students.
Imagine teachers like these helping your child prepare to change the world. Take a closer look at Mission CISD.
This game is brought to you in part by the Concession Stand in Santa Rosa, a locally owned business providing a terrific atmosphere before or after the games and supporting athletes of all ages. When you're in Santa Rosa, be sure to stop by the Concession Stand and choose from the wide assortment of goodies. An advertising partner with Rio Sports Live is the Concession Stand.
Back here at Rio Sports Live, we're in San Juan, Texas, and we head to the bottom of the sixth inning in the East All-Stars. Bat here. First pitch, and away we go.
This will lead it off, representing the Bravettes from down in Donna. Shout out to Coach Mike Gonzalez, which, you know, a little off topic, but, you know, we were also constructing the cheer photo shoots, and Mercedes is going to be our host. And I hadn't heard back from Mercedes, which, by the way, FYI, I don't know if I told you, but Mercedes will be the site.
Yes, yeah, okay. Andrew told me this.
All right.
This
well, I went down the box. I reached out to Los Fresnos, and I reached out to Donna, and they were both all in right away. And I said, well, Coach, we actually got our venue locked in, but thank you anyway for going through all the hoops. So just a shout out to Coach David Cantu and Mike Gonzalez down there in Donna. They were ready to open up the doors, but we're good to go in Mercedes.
Photo shoots for our football teams and the cheerleading squads as the preview magazine which was an amazing production last year, is going to be even better this year. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's get down to this bottom of the 6th inning, Kevin, and normally you would say, well, 1 inning to go. No, 8-inning game. You got a 3-1 lead. You want some more if you're the East right now.
Yeah, right now if you're the East, you know, you're starting to see some subs come in with Perez getting her first at bat. But really in that let's see, 1, 2, 3, in that 5th inning we saw the bats, the 4th inning, excuse me, with those 3 runs in the 4th. When you saw the leadoff single from Salcedo, Altamirano reached on a walk, and that double from Garcia.
Strikeout as a new pitcher, that's Elena Garza from Edinburgh High out there pitching. She records a strikeout here to start the 6th.
Yeah, she comes right back in, and you know, like I said, she's a crafty lefty, and she got the strikeout to end the inning, in the previous inning. And it's a change of pace because, like I said, you went from a girl who's got some really good velo and Adi, and then you mix it up from a righty to a lefty and a girl who just primarily throws a lot of junk.
But finds ways to throw strikes.
Right, yeah, she can throw strikes. Like I said, she's very crafty with what she does. She's got a lot of spin on that ball.
There's a ground ball, softly hit to third, gobbled up there, and across for the out.
Yeah, that was Caitlin Handy from Pioneer. She had herself a career for the Lady Diamondbacks.
Protecting that third base corner.
Yeah, I believe Caitlin played in the outfield early in her career, and then she got moved to third base.
There's a ball inside.
A Pioneer will be right back in the mix in 5A. Early favorites to win that district again.
Ariana Cabrera at the plate. Westaco East in the house. Strike called, inside corner.
Yeah, Westaco East had themselves a year too. They tied with Mercedes as far as who won the district title.
Off speed, and that is in there for a strike.
Good pitch. And usually it takes maybe an inning or two for these batters to get used to the drop in speed with all that spin.
Ball inside. Previous pitch referred to batters being frozen at the plate. You're watching it. It's not fast. It doesn't blow you away, but you just can't pull the trigger. It's like, I can't believe that's going to be a strike.
Right,
it is.
Right, it's a lot like when Tim Wakefield pitched. At least for my time.
There's a ground ball in the middle for a base hit.
You're probably, what more?
How about Phil Negro?
The Negro brothers, I'm going to say?
Yep.
But it's hard, though. It's hard. You know, it's a lot like the rise ball that it's coming right at you and then it has that rise. You know, like Chris says, it's coming at you like a melon.
Going to Cardinal games and seeing when Phil Negro took the mound, it was like, he's not going to throw fast, but the ball's going to be as if it's blown around by the wind every pitch.
Back to the top of the order with Jules Garcia. She was invited to our showcase as well. I thought Jules had a great career for San Benito, middle infielder. With Coach Lita, she batted in the leadoff spot. With Coach Martin, or at least her junior year, she batted in the leadoff spot.
Hits this one in the air. First baseman reels it in, and the inning comes to an end. Another scoreless inning. For the West, they'll hit. Top of the order's due up in this next inning. As they head to the sidelines, they trail 3-1. 7th inning comes around of 8 from San Juan. More after this.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
We are La Villa, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Whether you're visiting or vacationing at South Padre Island, be sure to book your place to stay with Island Services. Locally owned for over 40 years. Trusted, reliable for condo and beach house rentals. Call and visit the website today. Island Services.
Back here in San Juan on a Tuesday night, this is Real Sports Live, bringing you coverage of the 16th Annual Coaches All-Star East-West Softball Game. This year's venue, San Juan, Texas, and we were given a note that next year it'll be back here as well. Appreciate anyone that's tuning into our broadcast. Always need to throw this out there during our broadcast that if you're watching and you haven't done so, help us out on our social media. Like and follow our Facebook. That helps get the numbers up. We've never charged for our broadcasts. We don't even talk about pay-per-view. Don't charge schools to broadcast. Don't charge entities such as the Coaches Association to broadcast any of our events. It's all 100% driven by advertising revenue. And one of the first questions advertisers ask us is, what are your numbers? So if you haven't liked the page, follow the page, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do so as you're watching these games. First pitch, 7th inning rolls around, ball inside. West gets 2 more at-bats, Kevin, 7th and then the 8th in this format for this show, this All-Star game.
And they lead it off with Kayla Hernandez.
Hits it hard, and a diving catch is made at second base.
How about that?
Hard hit ball, maybe the hardest hit ball by the West today, and a web gem.
That's Haley Pena right there.
See if we can see that on the Josh Moody replay screen. Now this is the South Padre replay screen, but that'll be on your right-hand side. Rudy doesn't think he got it. And he didn't.
Well, I was going to talk about Kayla.
Go ahead.
She was a very special player for the RGV, 1,000 points in basketball, was an absolute monster in the front row in volleyball, an amazing career in track, and then, by the way, she hit bombs for the Lady Bears as a starting catcher. So there's the banquet at the end of the year for the athletes. If I could put in a vote, Kayla would be the 6A Female Athlete of the Year. There's no question about it. To be that dominant in multiple sports, she had a tremendous career.
West All-Stars Andrea Guevara at the plate. Next pitch to her. In there for a strike.
Probably, I can't see if anyone was warming up over on the west side, but I expect to see Casanova come in.
That misses high for a ball and a walk. So a line drive out and now a walk has a base runner on for the West. And that means the tying run will stroll to the plate as Itali Perez has a bat in her hand, ready to go. Haven't seen any home runs yet, Kevin.
No, and I'm surprised, especially with the way the wind is blowing.
Here's a hard hit ball, line foul down the third base side. An out, a walk. And tying run at the plate. Next pitch coming. Inside. Nearly hit her. Ball 1. Next one coming. Strike called at the knees. That gets our first real legitimate groan out of the crowd. Must be getting late innings, Kevin.
Yeah, and we knew we were going to get it at some point. We hadn't gotten it all night.
We now know there are West All-Star fans over there, primarily on that first base side. Here's a swing and a miss and a strikeout. 2 down.
Now it's Harley Serna in the 9 spot. It's now back to the top of the order. So now
And
another
this is Lopez.
Yes, another Lady Rattler.
Rio Grande City. That's what I get for looking at the East All-Stars and not the West on my roster sheet. Rookie.
Yeah, a little. I mean, the pitching was good, but it's a little surprising. It's only 3-1. That we have not seen a home run with all this firepower we have on offense.
Ball high, runner goes and out at second base. Oh, by the way, there's some really good catchers here today as well.
Some very good catchers that we did get on the replay. Jules Garcia with a hose.
Let's watch on the Josh Moody replay screen, brought to you by Josh Moody. Need a loans, financing your dream home, they'll do it. That's what you expect out of a great catcher. Back with more after this.
Live.
Hi, I'm Rodo Rodriguez, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation for building some of the finest agents in the industry. I help to manage that process from day one. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business, then I would like to show you how I can help.
We're Los Rectos Volleyball, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Forever memories. And back here on Rio Sports Live, we are into the bottom of the 7th inning. And the East All-Stars came up with a couple of big plays. First, sparkling play at second, and then a runner gunned down stealing. And the West All-Stars now sends out their team to try to keep this right where it's at, a 3-1 game. New pitcher for the West as well.
Yeah, that's Lissa Casanova, the lefty.
You were expecting that?
Yes. So now Guevara will be back inserted to the starting lineup, the 7th. Lissa likes to do that. She likes to spin the ball in there just to kind of, I don't know, kind of like this is my space, this is my ball, this is my zone, this is my circle. It's a unique deal she does.
She's ready, and the first one misses for ball 1.
She'll be a part of our showcase as well.
We'll watch this. We'll watch this sequence, what she does. It's kind of gearing up. I'll make a baseball reference to that here next. Ball outside. As a Cardinal fan, I watched Al Rabowski, which you probably have not heard of. I.e. the Mad Hungarian fans out there listening. He would go behind the mound, do something similar to that before every pitch as a reliever come in. Had a big Fu Manchu mustache and appeared in with an imposing view, and they called him the Mad Hungarian, Al Rabowski.
Kayla back behind the plate catching. It's definitely unique. And see, my cousin Sandy, when she pitched for Ed Couch, she would do that, but she would only do it when she was mad.
Ah. There's a ground ball, foul ball.
But see, when she was mad, as in like, I'm going to come and get you type of thing. So we knew that when she started doing that little thing, popping the ball into her glove, that
get ready.
You were going to get either a really good rise ball or a filthy changeup. There's Kevin Knipe. There he is. I'm a little upset.
There's a liner caught at second base.
He's a part of our committee and the coach for RGV Heat.
Is he back there behind the plate?
He's back there. I told him that there's a mic here waiting for him.
I'll step aside in a heartbeat, folks.
He's mingling. But a shout out to him, and they just got back. In fact, Chaos and Heat, they had a tournament up in San Antonio on Sunday, or all weekend really. Last day was on Sunday.
Ball low. There he is again behind the home plate area.
He's well respected for sure in the softball community. It's MJ Lopez at the plate, Lyford product. Another one of those girls like we were talking about earlier with Mia Wedegrove, Haley Pena, Alyssa Garcia, and MJ.
Seventh inning of 8 here in San Juan.
You know, I'm gonna ask the coaches, why not play 9? We're already at 8.
Yeah. And then you'll go Ernie Banks and ask them if they'll just play a doubleheader. We'll be here till midnight.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, if we're going to let us play 2, then let me revamp those lineups right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have substituted, or I would have done this, I would have done that.
Right. But, you know, kudos to how these coaches construct these lineups and getting these girls some playing time.
It is.
Well, Paul has, I want to say, 4 different lineups. That's why I told him before the game, he's like, you get a picture of each one. I said, I will, but shame on me. I know you better. To next year, I'll just ask for you just to print them out for me.
Yep. There's a walk.
You know, but talking about this All-Star game, you know, through the years, you know, traditionally it's over at La Jolla. Last year it was in La Villa, which I enjoyed. I thought it was a lot of fun playing in La Villa. You had that kind of mid-valley, field of dreams type of look. You had a cornfield next to you. Mm-hmm. Obviously, 2020, there was no All-Star game, but I think that's Amelia who's going to be running. I'm not sure. Forgive me there for not picking up the courtesy runner. It was always traditionally in La Jolla. But just the names that have come through this All-Star game, some pretty big names throughout the RGV over the last 15 years.
Next pitch on the way. Now it just misses. Throw to first base. Safe there.
There you go. That's Mary Casillas from PSJ North and Amelia Salinas, 2 Chaos girls.
There's a ground ball to short. Throw to second. Out there. Safe at first. And here comes Altamirano.
There's the hug right there. There you go. Love it. They play on Chaos together, so that's Mary Casillas, who, you know, good for her. She had an injury to her knee earlier, didn't start the year on time, but when she came back, she was a big bat for Coach Lugo and at PSJ North.
Ball one low to Altamirano. We haven't seen a home run yet, Kevin.
No, and like I said, I'm a little surprised we haven't, especially with a girl like Altamirano.
She can reach this, Vince. She can maybe reach the baseball fence behind us. There's a ball low.
No, she definitely brought some swagger to Los Fresnos. She's from California, and last year in the playoffs against Bowie, when she earned the nickname California Love, she brought that bat flip back.
Takes a strike in there.
But you know, Victoria's one of the good ones. She's going to be at Incarnate Word. That's where she'll be extending her career up in San Antonio.
She digs in for the next one here. Up and away. Attention being paid down there to the runner at first base.
Yeah, that's Salcedo down there at first. I mean, just the fact that Salcedo, Altamirano, Garcia, Perez, that's a lot of power.
Altamirano waits. Next one coming. Low ball 4 and a walk. Another base runner for the East. Coming up the 8th inning.
You're seeing a lot of the starters come back into this game. In a 2-run game in the 7th, you're playing 8. You're like, hey, let's go win this thing. That's what it is on both sides. And I like how Paul put it together where he went Adi, lefty, and then power, which Lissa happens to also be a lefty. That was a good blend there. This will be a good matchup right here.
High to Garcia. That one's thrown down to first base, and everybody moves up to second and third.
It was a nice evening. It was rare that it was an overcast and there was a little breeze, which is, I was expecting.
I was too.
For it to be blazing hot, but it was a beautiful evening. It is a beautiful evening.
Let's order this weather for the 25th, okay?
Yeah, I'm in.
Nice breeze blowing right now. Cool conditions. And hospitality, #1 right here at San Juan. They assisted us for a broadcast of a Golden Gloves boxing earlier this year, and back here for this All-Star game featuring the RGV Stars. Here's the pitch. Jules Garcia. Ball 3. Do you bring one into her?
You got a base open at first, so I think you're just gonna stay away. You're not gonna give her anything, but good luck because Crystal Pettis is coming up. That's the thing. That's the thing. I say she gives her a fastball right here. And there it is.
There it is. Right down central for a strike.
And I wanted to ask you this the other day, was that when you have a 3-0 count, the cardinal rule is you take as a hitter, but it's almost like a rule where you have to call a strike.
Yep.
Right? Is it just me?
For the umpire?
Yes.
Yes. It's like if I'm going to take it and they're going to throw a fastball, I got to call it a strike. There's ball.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Strike.
Yeah, I thought that was good. She just dropped it. But I noticed that the other night when I was watching the Astros and then when I was watching the College World Series they're like, it's almost a rule that they're going to call that a strike on a 3-0 count. This will be good right here. I don't think she wants to walk her either.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. Swing and a miss. Dropped. Throw to first. Out there. Run scores. No, inning over. That's the 3rd out.
Yep.
No run scores. It's still 3-1. 8th inning coming up after this.
Sam Houston in San Benito is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
When excellence in academics meets discovery on the court, in the arts, with institutions of higher education and beyond, we are the future leaders, and our success starts now. La Villa ISD, Cardinal Pride.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
Back here at Rio Sports Live, our coverage continues of the Rio Grande Valley Coaches All-Star Game, the 16th annual. East versus the West, and the West All-Stars have one more chance as we start this 8th and final inning scheduled. And the first pitch is down low for ball one, and away we go.
So Caitlin Handy to lead it off, representing the Lady Diamondbacks with Illy back in the circle.
Salcedo came in relief with the bases loaded last inning, misses that for ball two.
Katia Reyes playing shortstop.
That's a strike call.
There's a, let's see, there's a couple Rebels on this team. You're looking at Katia Reyes, Liliana Salcedo, Jules Garcia behind the plate.
They're all on the Rebels.
That's three of them from what I can see right now.
Ground ball, foul ball. Players in the east side this year for the coaches from Donna, Los Fresnos, Raymondville, Harlingen, Lyford, San Benito, Westaco East, Brownsville, Rivera, Westaco, and of course Harlingen South. Next pitch coming here. Swing and a miss, struck her out. First out of the inning. Salcedo brings that to the table, Kevin. She came in relief, got that big out to end the bases loaded jam, but she also can reach back for a little extra there.
Yeah, she's got a very good rise ball, and you know she hasn't pitched since their playoff run. So,
West All-Stars, how about La Jolla, PSJ Memorial, PSJ North, Edinburgh High, Hidalgo, Sherryland Pioneer, Mission, Rio Grande City, Nikki Rowe. Also here, Roma. All representing schools in this Coaches All-Star Game. Next pitch coming here. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, once Ileana gets settled in, that's good luck. No surprise here if she just goes right back to that rise ball.
Our runs were scored in the third and fourth inning. That's it. One by the West, deleted in the third. Answered by one by the East in the bottom of the third, and the East doubled that output for an inning with 2 in the fourth. That's it. 3-1 game.
Pretty good pitching.
Swinging a foul ball.
And it's always fun to cover this All-Star game and to just go out to the practices as well. And, you know, it's more laid back, you know, obviously. And, you know, the practices are always fun. And see some people, see some athletes you hadn't seen in a while.
Pitch coming. Swing and a miss, an off-speed pitch. 2 strikeouts and 1 out away from the East All-Stars, claiming the victory here in San Juan. Speaking of practices, our showcase will have some practices. We verified some teams are indeed going to put these girls together and have a practice.
Yes, they are. Eloy Perez for the Lightning confirmed with me. Actually, his son-in-law, Coach Kevin Ledesma, is the Lady Cardinal coach. They're going to be using their field, I believe, sometime next week. Friday, in fact, Coach Leah, who's coaching the Barracudas, will be holding a practice Friday evening up in Corpus.
That's this Friday.
That's this Friday. So, as far as I know, I don't got plans. But I did encourage these coaches to have a practice or two. And I understand, you know, they're playing travel ball and they have this all-star game, but it wouldn't hurt to have one, just so these girls can kind of get acclimated with each other. They know each other, but you know, just for.
Swing and a miss. Saucedo trying to strike out the side to end this game. And I'll say it now, if she does, I'm going to nominate her for our player of the game. She was in part of that 2-run fourth. Strikes out the side. Ended a rally in the 7th, and the East win this one, 3-1.
Yep, that's just vintage Ileana. Once she got going, it's hard to slow down, and she strikes out the side with that rise ball. Went back to that drop, but 3-1. The East wins yet again, and I'm a little surprised. It's just a 3-1 game. I was expecting to see maybe a little bit more pop in the bats, but you know, when you looked at it from the west side, they had Adi Sainz, who came in and she pitched really well, and then on the east side, I mean, Katia Reyes